How's everyone? Great to have you join us. For those I haven't met yet, my name is Dinesh De Silva, but I know a lot of you have been to our webinars before. A lot of you are our netStripes clients, so big welcome. However, if you're new to the netStripes community and this is your first webinar with us, a huge welcome. This is a community of business owners who are focused on business growth, accelerating their business growth, in fact, using digital and innovation. With me today is a very good friend of mine, Barr. Brad is an executive coach and a business coach. I've asked Brad to join us. I'm going to use a few examples, real life examples, in fact, on how to create hyper-personalized content from a B2B perspective. Why B2B? Because B2B is where I think a lot of our netStripes clients are at, and I thought I'll focus on that. However, I'm going to share a lot of other content today, and which I have previously shared as well, and links to those so that you can get best use. So, Brad, big welcome.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate the opportunity to see you again.
Fantastic. Well, we, I think, meet each other a bit too often, I believe.
Depends who you ask.
Exactly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share my screen so that we can get started. So AI changes everything. Now, you might think this is just a standard quote, and it's a flippant statement that I have put in front of you. But think about it. AI is going to change every aspect of our business, everything we do. It'll change the way we live. It'll change the way we play and relax, and the way we communicate with our peers and our family members. Why? It's going to change our business model. It's going to change our margins of our business. It's going to change the tools and the processes of our business. And today, I want you to consider every aspect of your business, the way you market, the way you create content, and the way you serve customers. And it is about time that all businesses took this seriously, because otherwise, all of us use ChatGPT and other AI tools, note takers and everything. But if we don't take action now, we're going to not. So let's go to that bottom, the statement slightly at the bottom. This is one of the most important statements I have lived by most of my life while I was on technology. I learned as a young person, when a paradigm shifts, everything goes to naught. I can talk a multitude of industries, and you guys know this. Where is Xerox today? It's a much spoken about story. Where is Blockbuster Video today? There's none of that. Why? Netflix. Where is Kodak today? It's not there. But the first time I learned about this paradigm shifts, and when a paradigm shifts, everything goes to naught, is when I learned about the Swiss watchmaking industry. The Swiss watchmaking industry created the quartz movement, but they coughed at it. They scoffed at it. And they would have coughed at it too. And why did they scoff at it? Because it didn't have the engineering, it didn't have the artistry, it didn't have the tools and all the detail the Swiss watchmaking industry looked at and admired in their watchmaking. And during a world watchmaking event, the people from Seiko, Japan, which was an unknown organization at the time, walked into this exhibition, took one look at the quartz movement, and that changed everything. And the Swiss watchmaking industry went from about 90% or 95% of the market share to about zero market share, near zero market share. It is only now that they have resurfaced because proper watches, automatic watches, mechanical watches are sexy again. And Swatch was the company that created that shift. So this slide is very important. I wanted to spend some time on this. However, AI delivers huge competitive advantages for those who are there early. And this was the same for Seiko. It was the same for all the people who took to these technologies early. It was the same for those people who created websites and took charge of the internet in the late 90s and early 2000s, like Amazon. So it won't be any different this time. It's about each of us rewiring our businesses. Think about that word again, rewiring our businesses to take maximum impact. So I have a few insights I want to share, but these some of them are startling, some of them are deep into the future, some of them are fairly now. This is by Sam Altman. Have a read of that. So what he's saying is that for AI, humans will be like ants. You know, to us, we look at a whole lot of ants and we just don't take any notice of them. Okay? So that's something we need to consider. Why? Because there'll be AI everywhere. There'll be, all types of robotics in operation, chatbots and, humanoid robots and all types of operations. But this is one of those, big statements, and all this is to be seen. This is more correct, okay? Not that Sam Altman wasn't correct. This is more recent. The jobs that will be hardest to automate are the ones that require empathy and unpredictability. So we've got to think about that, okay? So what part of your job requires empathy, unpredictability? Have a read of this. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. AI is not going to replace you. A person using AI will. Now, that was true 6 months ago, ladies and gentlemen. I now doubt this, right? AI can replace us. And it probably won't happen now. If we do not change sufficiently and go back to AI changes everything, this can happen by around December. I could be too pessimistic or optimistic, either way you look at it, but this is happening. And this statement is now, I think, obsolete. This was a huge statement. And what it says is that if we don't augment ourselves with technologies like Neuralink, where they put a chip in your brain, we will become obsolete. And it'll be like when cars replaced horses. Think about that. It'll be like when the cars replaced horses for transportation. So that's something to consider. Again, these are a bit far out. This is near. This is now. Marketing is no longer about messages. It's about machines predicting what messages will work next. And in fact, Brad and I are going to run some examples around this whole topic today, okay? Brad and I had a couple of discussions already on this topic, and Brad has some profound experience in this area that he's going to share with us as well. And I go back to what I said earlier, that AI can deliver competitive advantage. But how must we act? How must we act? That's the question. So this is what I hope to cover for you today. Have a quick squeeze at that. I'm going to get some water in the meantime. If there's anything else that you would like us to cover, go to the Q&A and put that up there. For those who are new to this webinar, a little bit about netStripes. Essentially, netStripes helps to position entrepreneurs to reach your business and personal goals. Why personal goals? Because you're in business. And why did you create a business? To achieve those personal aspirations. And we do help you to do this by building industry-leading businesses. And to do that, we use a dynamic mix of online marketing, and we have subject matter experts in every area of online marketing, high conversion websites, which are essential. Not any website, because 9 out of 10 websites do not deliver a result. And of course, strategy is fundamental to success online. So what's AI-first marketing? I want to cover creating high quality content fast, but I have covered that. So I'm going to share some resources, but I'm going to show you some creating high quality research fast as well. We've gone into all these tools before, and if I did a webinar 6 months ago, today, each of these tools are massively more powerful. Grok 4 was launched by Elon Musk last week. If you haven't checked it out, it is a super tool. And I reckon they're going to give ChatGPT a run. So imagine the AI tools that we're used to, they're under threat as well. Perplexity is another tool I use. Changes in SEO with AI and AIO. Google AI mode is changing a lot. You would have used Google, as you know, and AI mode is probably useful, but if you are doing SEO, what is the impact on your SEO on AI mode? Or how can you massively take advantage of AI mode using SEO? And these are opportunities that we have. AI in Google Ads and Meta Ads are super valuable, and I've covered that again. So these are some blogs that we've written. This blog and the next one I'm going to share were only launched about a week ago. Go and have a read of it. Mastering AIO, AI SEO, if you want to call that AI focused SEO, the new frontier of SEO for every business must tackle. Again, this blog was written by myself and Lake, who was a journalist before joining netStripes, is a copywriter, amazing person who's been with netStripes for over 6 years, and we researched the best researchers who had written on the topic, and including Google's white paper on AI mode. Okay, so when I wrote this because so many people came and said, Dinesh, what's the impact of SEO or AI on SEO? Is there going to be massive impact? And when the fourth person asked me, Brad, Alicia Masood came and asked me at a meeting, Dinesh, very emphatically, what's the impact on all this AI on SEO? And I gave her an explanation, and I thought, this is the fourth person who asked me in a week, and I'm going to write a blog, and this is that blog. It's a great blog. Go and have a read. And this is the other blog that goes with it, that talks specifically about Google's AI mode. Okay, one of the global experts who had written about this stuff is a guy called Mike King. A great article. You don't go and read it. It's pretty complicated, but I've summarized it for you here. Okay, this was written some time ago. Powerful, game-changing ChatGPT hacks. Go and have a look at it. But I can guarantee you some of this is obsolete. But there'll be good content. Again, I've talked about the different types of AI tools you can use. Again, this was about 6 months ago. So while all these tools are there, they're way better. There are better tools as well. But go and watch this video. I covered a lot of really cool stuff here. This is on YouTube. Jen will share the link for this video. And I covered the impact of AI on Google Ads and through webinars. So can you see there's a lot of content we create, and this is all free content that we create for our customers so that you are not having to go and do all this research. We do all the research. We're a research-based company, and we create this content for you free of charge. And by the way, if you're stuck after reading any of that stuff, or you want to talk to me, or you want to talk to any of our guys on any of these topics, Jen will share a link there where you can book an advisory. It's a free advisory. We do a lot of free stuff, as you can see, because we want to serve a community, and we've been building a community in the last 12 years since netStripes was founded. So everybody tells me quality leads are priceless, but the fact is they're too risky to depend on, and most of people are still in this day and age of AI. We've had the smartphone era, the web era, the cloud era, and you're still depending on referrals to get leads. Something has to give, because that is not a good way of building a business. All right, so let's go to B2B marketing. I want to cover account intelligence. How do we research businesses really fast? Okay, so that's what I want to cover today. How do you go and do big deals, really profitable deals, good deals with other businesses? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, and how do you research them? How do you create value? And then how do you create hyper-personalized marketing assets? Now, Brad, I know you've done a lot of work in here. You worked with LinkedIn experts in the past and have getting various degrees of results. I know you are frustrated with some of the results, and not just you, Brad. There's so many people who have had the same experience. Okay, social media marketing. If you don't do it right, if you don't understand the algorithms, the data, the research that we present here, and you're fraught with danger. Now, Brad, tell us about some of the successes you've had, or some of the frustrations you've had, building your business and marketing your business, because you're an expert in your own right, highly respected, but you still got to build that marketing funnel.
Yeah, thank you. Well, to be clear, I think I'm a much better coach than I am a marketer, which is, one of the reasons why you and I have a relationship. My experience with LinkedIn, I have a love-hate relationship, to be honest. I think I've got 4,500, followers now. I've been in this business for 6 years, and prior to that, I was 30 odd years in financial services. So really, a lot of my connections are historical. And so as I moved into repositioning myself as a coach and what I do, I needed to make, new contacts, new connections. I needed to get out from behind the desk in COVID and start, posting, and rather than just liking and connecting. And so I find LinkedIn's a bit of a drug. I feel like I'd love to not be on it, but I need to be on it. I need to be visible for this side of my business. And I've had, mixed success, probably not as much success as I would like. I think if I weighed up the ROI so far, to be honest, I think I've invested a lot more in it, time-wise, mentally, and dollars, than I have in terms of ROI.
Brad, you also spoke about some frustrations you've had recently when we spoke.
Yeah, so I think the frustration for me is, the algorithm. I can't even spell algorithm, let alone understand the algorithm. And so I schedule posts, I play around with different types of content. I recently started doing videos. Sometimes, if I really want views, and I want my network to see views, I'll write something personal and I'll get a lot more views. Now, it doesn't mean I get any business or interest. Maybe it moves my credibility up. Maybe people get to know me. But that top of the funnel work, you need to do a lot of it to actually get anything to sort of drop down into conversations and into actual work. So yeah, I find it frustrating that I can spend hours hours and
Mhm.
hours building something
Yeah.
and not get many views, and then I can do something pretty quickly. And hence that's kind of what led me to leveraging AI in the last 6 months or so.
Cool. I do remember you talking to me about LinkedIn, and you said, connections are okay, but the and you use, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, you spoke very passionately when you said it's a freaking algorithm that doesn't deliver my content to the users. And it is so true, because the research shows, whether it's Meta, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, these these all these platforms work based on algorithms. And if you are a business, um, in Meta and Instagram, it's very careful. It delivers about less than 1% of, of reach of all your followers, right? LinkedIn is a bit better. LinkedIn is a bit better, but still it's not good enough. Okay. LinkedIn is still not good enough. And that's what Brad found through the hard way. The other thing is, Brad, I think earlier when you were doing your LinkedIn, did you think your strategy was clear?
No, no, not at all. No, I needed to play on it and be on it, so I wasn't strategic. I think my positioning was messed up. I did a few different courses, and so I became more active, but I'm not sure that that led to results. Well, I measured the results,
Yeah,
and I think what I've really noticed over the last at least 12 months, 24 months is there's a massive growth in businesses that are experts on LinkedIn.
yeah,
And there's
yeah.
courses and there's AI courses and there's courses on prompt writing and there's
Yeah,
and it's all very confusing, but ultimately I'm trying to reach my target market who are out there amongst the 900 million plus people that are there.
so as you heard from Brad, there's so many courses, there are so many experts, and there are so many things to do, and that's where the confusion lies. Brad, but I do want to ask you, and this I didn't ask you when we were having the chat about this. You and I did some work on strategy so that we are absolutely clear of our goals, absolute clarity on our audience. Has that helped you at all?
No, no, just kidding. Yes, it has. So uh, I think, look, one of the things I ponder a lot is that everyone has a view on leadership. All different ages, all different experiences globally. There's a ridiculous amount of content on leadership, and so what I think you helped me do distill was who are the types of clients that I was doing a lot of work with, where was I getting my success from, who did I enjoy working with, and noticing the patterns of the avatars of the type of people that I wanted to work with. And out of the back of that, it became clear, and I didn't think of it this way, but through our conversations, the fast growing businesses were really the target for me. Reason being, when businesses are growing fast, a lot of the people related issues start to get exposed, particularly at an individual level, but also at a team level. And so, without a strategy, otherwise, I feel like you're just posting random things at random times, and no wonder your audience is confused as to who you are and what you're doing.
Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw here, Brad was doing a lot of social media. He probably did a lot of stuff for about a year and a half, and he spent money doing this too with experts. But the message for all of you is do not do social media unless you're absolutely clear who your ideal customer is. And once you're clear of your ideal customer, it's so much easier to achieve that financial goal. because these ideal customers pay us top dollar, and we need fewer of them to achieve our financial goals. And once we are clear, absolutely clear who that customer is, and in Brad's case, he had so many other clients, and we then narrowed down, laser focused. This is sharp shooting on fast growing businesses. Now we're able to work out of these fast growing businesses who pays top dollar and what is the message for them. What are their pain points and what are the messages for them? Now we can zero in. Okay. Now doing other research, doing AI, everything is well. So do not AI and ChatGPT and LinkedIn and all those experts are useless until you narrow that down. And these are fundamentals that I still want to make it very clear to you.
The only other element I'd add to that, Dinesh, is not only the top dollar, and I think the financial lens is critical, has to be, but it's also who do you want to work with and who do you want to attract? And I think that, all of us can relate to having clients that yeah, they might pay the bills, but they're not the types of clients that we really get energy from and want to build a business from.
Absolutely, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me say this over and over again. Your ideal customer is somebody who pays you top dollar, but also you love working with them, but in return, they also love working with you. And that's your ideal customer. And that, as Brad said, gives us energy. All right, let's keep moving on. I'm going to share my screen. So what I want to do is I want to show it very quickly. When you're doing B2B marketing, now, as Brad and I discussed, we are very clear. And so if you've done your strategy, you are super clear who your ideal customer is and what your value proposition is. Now, how do we go and talk to those ideal customers in a way that when we share a message, when we send them a LinkedIn invite to connect, it just hits the nerve. You don't have to go and say, I'm so and so, I've got 10 years of experience, etc. Everybody does that. But how do you show insights that when you ask them to connect, it hits a nerve and they said, hey, this guy knows something more than everybody else. I need to get in touch with them. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Account intelligence or client organizational intelligence. Then not only about the business we need to know, we also need to know about their industry. What changes are happening in their industry? What is transformational in the industry? Because the whole world is changing, right? Every industry is changing massively. And how do you, based on that, create what I call hyper-personalized marketing assets? So, okay. We need to uncover deep insights from diverse data sources. We don't have to do that earlier. I would have spent hours and hours. Sometimes I spent 600 hours to create some content for a training program I created. And I don't have to do that anymore. It'll be so much less time because of AI. Align marketing messaging with your prospect's strategic objectives. Enable proactive, value-driven customer engagement. Normally, if you had to do this, it would have taken ages. I want to show you how you can do this in 2 or 3 prompts. 2 or 3 prompts, okay? But I'm going to go through the system. So this is Brad Barr. Connect with Brad on LinkedIn. He's somebody, really worth listening to. If you want to listen to Brad Barr, come to Lane Co. Brad is part of BNI Inspire or BNI Lane Co. in Hunters Hill. And Brad speaks regularly, does educational segments every Thursday morning. Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. Brad, you may want to share a link if anybody wants to register and come and listen to you and meet you there as well. We spoke about ideal clients, and this time we want to focus on learning and development managers, by the way, and of fast-growing businesses. So let's go here. So we go to LinkedIn and type in learning and development managers here on search, and we pick people, and we say first and second, and in Sydney. And then we get this list. Once we get this list, as you know, there are lots of people on these lists, but we want the fast growing businesses, okay, ideally in some sort of transformational industry. And we find this lady called Helen Carewood. By the way, we don't know this person. This is random research we're doing. And we go in and check her LinkedIn. And then we go and do a prompt. This is not the way Brad does his prompts, by the way. Brad has a highly sophisticated way of doing prompts. I'll share that with you, but I'm pretending to be Brad Barr, and I went and did this prompt. So what am I saying here? I'm Brad Barr. I'm giving a bit of some knowledge about myself. I'm keen to get in touch with Helen. What can you tell me about her? So very simple. It's not smart, but I've said a few really valid things. I've said who I am, who this person is, and what I want to know. Look at the content I get about Helen. It tells me her professional profile, where she was before this, where she was speaking, her current team, but more importantly, it also, if you look at that in here, it talks about some of her colleagues. Now, when you're dealing with some large companies, one person doesn't make decisions. You can get introductions from others as well. And it's super important to know who this person reports to and other peers in the business. Okay. And we've already found this through one prompt. And reading this takes you less than a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And then we can go and research Alyssa Bartlett, Amanda Mans. By the way, Amanda and Alyssa, if you guys are ever watching us on YouTube, we just use you as examples. We don't know you, but congratulations on what you've achieved in your businesses and what you do. Very impressive, by the way, your LinkedIn profiles. Look at that. Even the way you're presented is super, super good. All right. So ChatGPT continues to give us more responses, okay? How this helps you as an executive coach. It's telling us that Helen's got a psychologist training, and she could be very different to others, and we can take that angle. She has a regional scope, NZ, and event and stakeholder visibility, and gives us some information there. So, oops. Sorry, apologies, things happen. Suggested next steps. It even tells us what we should do next. Connect thoughtfully, giving us a strategy, as you can see. Value proposition tailored to ANZ. So if you're talking to her, talk to her about ANZ, not talking about other stuff, about fast-growing businesses, very linked to what Brad does. Leverage shared network, offer collaborative thought leadership, okay? So this is super valuable. Now, if I was Brad Barr, and this is me, I'm going in saying, tell me more about JCD, Australia, and the challenges and opportunities that Helen and her colleagues, Alyssa and Amanda, may have right now, okay? So this is what I get about JCD. It tells me they are in the digital out-of-home space. It's massively transformational, very tech-enabled. They're moving from this traditional media space into this tech-enabled, data-rich platform. And now this is a transformational space, disruptive, ideal for somebody like Brad to work in. So now, it tells us more about these people and their likely challenges and opportunities. And then it goes on to say ABM. ABM is account-based marketing, okay? And it's now realized we need to know deeper stuff and value proposition opportunities for Brad and Prime leadership. So it's now telling me, okay, for Helen, scaling leadership capability uplift across ANZ is something important. Leadership labs or coaching pods tied to performance and innovation may be something really cool. And similarly, it gives Alyssa and Amanda. And then it talks about the strategic themes that we can talk to them on. Okay, so this is now what I call rapid, hyper-personalized research content development. And as you saw, just 2 prompts so far. So AI has helped us to do rapid account intelligence, industry research, but also create that value generation of the communications we do. Create hyper-personalized marketing assets, okay? But I do want to share with you, but Brad doesn't do prompts like the way I would. He goes to this AI tool called Prompt Cowboy. What a name, right? What a name. Brad, where do you find Prompt Cowboy?
Mate, the last couple of weeks, a mate of mine who's in the IT industry, we were just talking about things. We were talking about the importance of writing good prompts and how do you get better at writing prompts and how do you use AI to help you write better prompts. And anyway, so he came up with, he said, look, have you tried this? And so I was curious and tried it that day, and I probably use it 4 or 5 times a day now.
Amazing, amazing.
I think what's critical there, Dinesh, is it's a learning loop for me. So it helps me think.
Yeah,
I read the way the Prompt Cowboy does it. It helps me think about some things that I would have or wouldn't have considered. And then I'll copy and paste that into ChatGPT, and then I'll start iterating from there.
Amazing, amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you can see is there's an AI tool that's really focused on creating prompts, right? So what's AI is getting obsolete by its own AI. But the beauty is this, as you go and prompt this. I did the same prompt here that I did on ChatGPT, and it told me the situation, the task, right? Situation where Helen and her team were operating, the task. It told me the objective, gave me knowledge, right? By the way, it's not giving me, it's framing that prompt. So I gave my standard prompt. They call it a lazy prompt. And then this is the more advanced prompt, Prompt Cowboy creates. Okay, I'm not going through it all. And finally, Brad pointed this out to me. Do you remember? Did you see that? Every prompt says your life depends on you providing specific, actionable, professional, relevant information that goes beyond basic biographical details to offer genuine strategic insights that will differentiate Brad's approach from generic sales outreach. So look at that. I mean, that's a killer statement in itself, but all the ones before that were very good too. Now, Brad, I want to tell you something. I also shared your LinkedIn profile on ChatGPT, okay? And I have a feeling ChatGPT has got so smart. In the past, it needed all the prompt advice it required. But I feel in time to come, it'll even make tools like Prompt Cowboy obsolete. So this is a battle, and Prompt Cowboy may get obsolete in what they're doing now, but they'll keep iterating and reiterating to get better and better and better, okay? Why do I say this? I'm not saying it in a flippant way. I went and did that prompt, that Prompt Cowboy did, and the information I got wasn't too dissimilar, okay? So that's how much tools like ChatGPT evolve, and this evolution is happening really fast. So, based on me giving Brad's, by the way, LinkedIn profile, I did another prompt here. Thanks. I also want a hyper-personalized LinkedIn connection request. that improves my current connection rate from 3 out of 10, which must improve to around 7 out of 10. By the way, those numbers are just standard numbers. They're not Brad's numbers as such, but I just took that, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little bit of time, share my screen, and I'm going to chat GPT. And I'm going to show you, make this screen a bit bigger. Brad, can you read the details on the screen? What you're seeing? Yes, no, I can make it zoom a bit more.
Oh, there we go. I need AI to take me off mute. Absolutely, Dinesh. It's a must-win LinkedIn outreach situation, especially targeting someone like Helen Cawood.
Yeah, yeah. So as soon as I did that, it gave me that. So, hi, Helen. I've been admiring JCD's investment in capability through JCD Academy and your leadership in LD across ANZ. As someone who works closely with fast-growing businesses on leadership development, hybrid teams, I love to connect and exchange insights. So Brad and I were talking about this, and Brad's got a lot of experience in sending notes like that, and none of us agreed that that was the best. So what I'm here to tell you is ChatGPT might spell out something, give us something. We can't just go and use it as it just gives it to us. Because now we got to use our own insights to see, is that how I want to position myself? ChatGPT may learn from us, teaching them about what we want. In my case, Brad said, by the way, I do shorter messages, and sometimes I don't even do a message, and both work 50-50 for me. Is that right, Brad? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I tend to test just direct connections without a message. And then sometimes I'll use a message because I have had experience where I've crafted messages. I've spent a lot of time doing it, and it's a little bit hit and miss for me. Trying to get it in the right language that's relevant, depending on where that person at the other end, when they get it, they're sitting on the bus, they're sitting at work, and they kind of see this random message coming through from this bloke. Do I connect with him or not?
Yeah. By the way, Brad said something really good. Okay. All these prompts are like 2 or 3 prompts we've done so far. We've done this research. We've done it in a bus while going to work and back. Right? This is rapid research. We understand JCD's industry. We understand Helen's business. We understand their challenges, opportunities, and a whole lot. Maybe they'll have other stuff, but we know a lot. Okay. But what I don't like about this is saying I admire JCD's investment in capability, and I get a lot of these connection requests who say, "Look, I admire netStripes, etc. I don't know these people. I'm grateful that they admire." Right? But I prefer to connect with people, not salespeople. I prefer to connect with peers who I see them as peers. So I personally wouldn't put that to somebody. And Brad agreed, and we both, and it says why this works, etc. Of course, you can go and check it, right? You can A/B test everything. And then it gives us a bonus alternative. That's really good too. Then I'm not happy. I'm saying, are you able to consider creating an invite for the following format to ensure I'm seen as a peer and expert in my own right, and the importance of her to connect, right? And I say mention recipients, not spelled right. Core challenges, so it hits a nerve no sooner they read it. Example, this challenge you are facing, it is not for the faint-hearted. I would enjoy staying connected as peers or in this space. So what I'm trying to say here is something very different. So then it says, hi, Helen. By the way, sorry, let me tell you something else. Yeah, some of the prompts I've got there from LinkedIn was to say, I'm a business coach, and this is the introduction to Helen. I'm a business coach with 10 years of experience, and I would like to connect with you because I understand you're having these issues. Nobody cares about us, really. They only care about care about what they do. So why I told the prompt that I wanted to create a prompt that hits a nerve when they read it is they read it and they go, I have that pain point. How does he know about it? How does Brad know about that? And I'd like to connect. But I also want to say, you're an influencer in your space, I'm an influencer in my space. Let's stay connected as peers. So that is a powerful introduction. So it keeps giving me more information, leading L&D across ANZ while aligning hybrid leadership for digital transformation and measurable outcomes is not for the faint-hearted. So now it's better. I work with exec teams navigating these same complexities, etc. So then I say it's too long. How would you make it punchier and shorter? Okay, that's what I'm asking for. Now it gives me that. Driving L&D across hybrid teams, that's no small feat. I work with leaders. I don't want to say this, I work with leaders. I sound like a salesperson. But what I want to say is, I would enjoy, instead of saying that, I want to say I would enjoy staying connected as influencers in this space or as peers in this space. Because Brad is an influencer in his space. And Dinesh, myself, I want to be, we are influencers in this space, right? So when I want to connect with somebody, I want to connect because we are peers. And I don't even need to say peers, I want to say as influencers in our space. Okay, and this is something I want you to consider. I'm not going to tell you that that's going to work. What I'm asking you to do is to reconsider the prompts ChatGPT gives and then keep refining them and A/B testing them, because what we want to get to is to get out of 3 out of 10 success rate to 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. We can't get to 7 until you get to 4 out of 10, and you keep refining and refining and refining. Unfortunately, with the algorithms changing, everything changing, the world changing, after 5, it might go to 4 as well, 5 out of 10 to 3 out of 10. So then you're going to keep improving. But this can be done super quickly, ladies and gentlemen. And then I said, what if I wrote driving L&D impact across hybrid teams and fast evolving digital media businesses can't be for the faint-hearted and would enjoy staying connected as peers influencing that space. That's what I want. That's the type of thing I'm looking for. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go back into the presentation. I think you know what we're talking about here. We're talking about using AI to do really rapid research of businesses, accounts, and do account-based marketing, ABM as they call it, to research businesses, research industries, and to do it really fast, as Brad said. They could be on a bus, but we could be on a bus as well. And we could do this research rapidly and use this as a competitive advantage for your business. So again, once you've done that for Helen, by the way, sorry, I also asked you to do some emails. Once they connect with me, I'm not going to email them immediately. I want them to see the content I share. Brad does some nice videos, really powerful videos, by the way. They're not edited and they're not fancy, but these are authentic videos Brad creates, and his content is super good. Is that right, Brad?
I think you're very generous. Thank you. Head for radio. I'm just trying to connect and try and give just short, sharp messages to stimulate some engagement.
Yes, but they're very good. And so follow Brad, listen to his leadership videos as well. And by the way, once you've got engagement, after a while, you can write to them directly. And here's an email that will address all those pain points for each of those people that they're customized for the different people. Obviously, the Chief People Officer is a very important position, and that's somebody Brad needs to connect, and we need to get in front of these people. And now that they're connected with us, we can use others to introduce us. Again, use those age-old methods of introduction that works instead of just going through only LinkedIn. LinkedIn is powerful to get this far, but we got to use our other connections as well. So what we saw was contextual, meaningful follow-up can be done, uncover deep insights from diverse data sources. That's what these generative AI tools do. They bring these diverse sources to us, aligns marketing messages with executive level objectives. We've done that, and then enables proactive, value driven. We're delivering value. As I said, if we are even sending them an invite, I want us to hit their pain point. Okay, not just talk about us and say, I'm a business coach for X amount of years and I'm so good. Nobody cares, right? They only care about themselves and their problems. So that's what we have to hit on. That's value. So, ladies and gentlemen, disruptive revolutions, as we are seeing, is happening very silently. Before we know it, a lot is going to change. I've told our teams at netStripes only last week that all of us can be obsolete by December because there's so much change happening. It's not all of us, only us. It's every business has this problem. You might think medical professionals don't have that problem, but they do. Before somebody goes to see a heart specialist, they put all that data, all the scans, all the x-rays, all the data they get, blood reports, everything into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is ready. Sometimes they don't even have to go and see them. And this is a cardiologist who told me. Their numbers have dropped because people are doing their research. So every industry is getting disrupted here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need to talk on any of these topics, come and talk to us. You know how to contact Brad. He's an amazing person. You can meet Brad and I if you come to we meet every Thursday between 7 and 9 a.m. So we can finish work and get back to offices. Come and visit us. I won't be there next week. But Brad will be there. I'll be there after that. Hopefully, I have a few things I need to attend to. Today was a very important day for me, but our vision is very clear for netStripes. And even during difficult times, we're very clear of what we have to do, and we live our vision day in, day out. So contact, Jen is going to share a link. You can click on that link and book an advisory with myself or any of our teams. We have subject matter experts. SEO, by the way, is fundamentally important for your businesses. Make sure you actually get your SEO checked and see what you can do on your own. And if you need some help, some of our teams can help you as well. Okay, that is probably, SEO is probably one area I could recommend you to focus on. So again, it's all about making sure those leads you get are quality leads. Do not just depend on referrals alone. It is entropy for businesses. And it's about catching that digital AI wave, okay? And our vision from the day we started was to empower 1 million businesses. That's what we do daily. Today was a really hard day for me to be here, but I'm here because of this vision. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing. I want to say thank you to Brad. Brad, amazing person. Thank you,
mate. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'll be here on the Q&A. There's a Q&A. There's a question. Mike Hegarty, Japanese technology giant SoftBank says it aims to create a system enabling artificial intelligence to develop another, more efficient AI model. That's through using AI agents, which can perform tasks without human input. By the way, I know SoftBank very well. I know Masa. I've been following Masa for many years, probably 15, 20 years. Masa takes huge bets. Some of those bets are $40, $50 billion. But he's been talking about artificial superintelligence for a long time. And this could be right. There are a lot of chatbots, AI agents that can disrupt us. I mean, Brad and I can be, I read an article, and Brad and we can be replaced. We have to get better, right? I read an article that said that your most valuable employee is a chatbot. Okay, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Okay, because each of your team members, netStripes, subject matter experts in every area, right? Each of those team members can do 10 times, 100 times the work because they'll have bots working for them. But if they don't improve, they will get obsolete. Yeah, thank you for that, Mark. Great question. Congratulations. You're very knowledgeable to ask that question. I'm impressed. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to take your leave, Brad. Thank you again.
Thank you, Matt. All the best.
Bye-bye.
Well done.